What happens when a man loses himself, loses his edge, nearly loses everything, and decides to rebuild himself from zero? That's what this video series is about. This video is called Total Fucking Rebuild. I know I've always had a flair for the melodrama, but folks, I'm serious. I intend on rebuilding my life piece by piece, brick by brick, atom by atom over the coming months. And I invite all of you to join me on this journey of growth, of discovery, and exploration together. So, on the surface, my life these past few years, things have been going really well. I've got an incredible job. I just finished my graduate studies at UC Berkeley. I own a home. I have an amazing partner in my life. I have amazing people in my life. That's everything on the surface. If I told you all the stress, pressure, anxiety, uncertainty, to say nothing of the political situation and everything else happening in the world, I've had to deal with a lot these past couple of years. And in fact, I reached a kind of psychological abyss. I reached an emotional and spiritual and psychological nadir. I reached a low point in my life. Now, for those of you who know me personally, this is my third or fourth once in a lifetime crisis I've had to overcome. I was homeless as a teenager. I'm a formerly incarcerated youth. So I figured by my late teens and early 20s, I figured there wasn't much more life could throw at me, right? Then fast forward to 2020, COVID, the political situation, Israel, Palestine, the economy. Um, Life will continue to throw you curveballs. One thing I've learned, though, in the past couple years is that it can always get worse, right? I mean, no matter how bad something is, it can always get worse, believe it or not. And so that's just a nice reminder to everybody to really try to look at things on the bright side, to try to look for the silver lining, because no matter how bad things are right now, I assure you, they can get a lot fucking worse. They can get a lot worse. So I was able to hold a job. I was able to put myself through grad school. I was able to keep it together these past few years. I'm very blessed. But I was just barely holding it together. I mean, I was hanging on by a thread. I've been sober for 10 years. Thank God I didn't relapse. Thank God I didn't relapse with alcohol. But between the stress and pressure of my job, of grad school, I moved to Southern Oregon to a little retirement community. That presented a lot of challenges. My mother died tragically, right? Some terrible things have been happening in the world. Oh, and I was rejected by every branch of the United States military after trying to get in for 10 years, expunging my record, turning my life around. So these are a couple of the curveballs, just a few, that life threw my way these past couple of years. And I was on the precipice of total emotional collapse. I kept it together, just barely. And I recognized that it wasn't entirely my fault, everything I was dealing with. And that's what I want to talk to you all about now for the next minute or so, is that I realized that a ton of external forces, external factors, external stimuli were also contributing to my mental and my emotional health. I realized that my relationship with social media, my relationship with certain political narratives, my relationship with time and task management, my relationship with superfluous external stimuli was impacting my ability to concentrate, was impacting my fight or flight response in my brain. And that's total aside, everybody. The media today, doesn't matter, conservative media, liberal media, the media today goes to work on people's amygdala. It triggers a fight or flight response in order to keep the news stimulating, in order to keep the news engaging. I hope some of you are aware of that, because it's a very, very, very crucial dynamic that we have to contend with now here in the West. The news makes people mentally ill, and it's designed to make people mentally ill, because when people are outraged, they're engaged, right? Outrage cultivates engagement. So when I realized that all of these external factors, and it's not all external factors, I have to bear some culpability in all of this, but in addition to some of the choices that I had made, and some of those external factors that were going to work on my central nervous system. I'm drinking too much coffee. I'm not sleeping enough. I'm stressed the fuck out all the time. that all of these things were impacting my life, were dramatically impacting my life. And so I have a hypothesis, everybody. If all of these things were impacting my life, aren't all of these things impacting your lives as well? Right. And so I think there's some common themes here around social media, around these external stimuli that we're talking about, around maintaining our jobs and maintaining our mental and our emotional health in the backdrop of some very real stressors and some very legitimate things happening in society. I think we're all in a state of crisis, right? So our mental health and our propensity to work on our mental health is going to be a core differentiator moving forward. So, in the years to come, the fulcrum of class isn't just going to be access to wealth and resources. One of the levers of class in the coming years, folks, I know this is a hypothesis, is going to be people's mental health. Your mental health is going to be a core differentiator in terms of your quality of life and the quality of life of those around you. So I've just thrown a ton at everybody. Just to recap, I experienced some incredible psychological and emotional stress over the past couple of years. I nearly lost everything. I was able to keep a job, a great job at an amazing company. I was able to get through grad school. But now I'm at a point where I want to hit the reset button, where I want to come back. I want to get back in touch with the person I was 5, 10 years ago, when I was a little bit more ambitious, when I had a little bit more of an edge, when I was a little bit hungrier than I am now. And 5, 10 years ago, I wasn't inundated with all that political bullshit that all of us are now. I'm trying to break. That's what this video is also about. This total fucking rebuild is about breaking up with all of that toxic bullshit in society. So that's what this video series is all about, is regaining my edge. Because for those of you who know me personally, when I overcame homelessness alone, no support from mom and dad, put myself through one of the top universities in the world, I did this without a dime from anybody else. I was on some Bruce Wayne shit. And I say that with humility. But again, those of you who know me know my track record. It's not hyperbolic. Back in 2014, 2015, I was on some Bruce Wayne shit. I was tapped in. I lost my edge. Now I'm trying to get it back. I certainly hope you found this video valuable, folks. If you made it this far, I want to thank you personally. I invite you to join me over the coming months in this journey together, because, they say it takes a village. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Happy Friday, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.